What a week in Australian football. So much drama across the A-League Women's and A-League Men's. Hey guys, my name is Lockie. This is Coastwatch Football. Let's do a recap of all the action, and we're going to kick off with the A-League Women's Elimination Finals first of all. Newcastle Jets going through ahead of Western United. Western United, last year's grand finalists, looking to go one better this year and win the whole thing. Knocked out in the Elims at home after finishing third in the regular season. Credit to the Jets, who won it in the end. A dramatic affair, which at one point the lights were disconnected, and there was a bit of a technical difficulty there at the stadium. Luckily, the lights were restored in the second half. The game went to to extra time, and Newcastle were able to prevail. Bolden with a couple goals here for Newcastle Jets, helping getting the job done for the away team. And now it's a massive test for Newcastle, as they'll be coming up against Melbourne City, the top team in the competition, in the semi-finals next week. What a win for Newcastle Jets. Really disappointing, though, for Western. And when you look at the stats as well, I mean, they racked up 25 shots with only 9 of those on target. They'll be disappointed that they weren't able to take more opportunities and get through in front of their home fans over there in Tarneet. Newcastle Jets through. In the other women's elimination final as well, mighty Central Coast Mariners getting the job done against Melbourne Victory in a really tense and tight match. You can look at the stats here. I mean, 24 shots for the Mariners, 16 for Victory. But both teams were lacking a little bit of accuracy in front of goal, I think it's fair to say. As you can see there, I mean, just 5 shots on target for either side. There were some incredible chances, though, specifically for Mariners, I thought, who created some fantastic opportunities. Kai Simon had a couple good moments in front of goal, easily could have opened the scoring. But after 2 hours of football, man, we were sent to the penalty shootout, and Casey Dumont showing up once again, as she always does in the penalty shootouts, not only saving penalties, but scoring one herself. What an effort as well. Shout out to Izzy Gomez, who put in a fantastic shift yet again. She has been unbelievable this season for Central Coast Mariners. For me, the most valuable player in the team this season, has done a fantastic job with her ability, not only her ability to, break down opposition attacks and, coming with crucial tackles, but driving the ball forward, and her work rate is fantastic as well. And, she's such a key figure in this Mariners lineup. Central Coast will go on to take Sydney FC in the semi-finals over the next couple of weeks. Of course, the 2 legs, very exciting. This is the first time we're getting the full final series that we've been seeing in the A-League Men's, also now in the A-League Women's. So the 2-legged semis taking place over the next couple weeks. Let's dive into the A-League Men's action now. Plenty to discuss. A Sydney derby, and we've got a new record, the biggest win in A-League history. City and Glory to round out the weekend. Let's start on Friday, though, and this is where the drama began. In New Zealand, Wellington with a late victory over Melbourne Victory. Finn Sermon, has he been credited with the goal? These figures and stats coming from Google, looks like he has been. Was it an own goal? Wellington Phoenix won't care, man. The 3 points is massive for them to keep them, at the moment, level with Central Coast Mariners. The top of the table. You can see, again, from the stats, it's quite interesting looking at sort of the story there. Victory were definitely the more dangerous team throughout the match, especially in that first half. They looked more likely to score, but we're just struggling to get those shots on target. As you can see, only managing 3 across the entirety of the match. Wellington Phoenix, as they have done, especially at home, so much this season, defending so well. Payne, Sermon, Wooten, and Sutton, that they went to that back 4. They played that back 5 against Mariners last time around, but with Alex Rufer returning to the lineup, head coach, the Chiefy Giancarlo Italiano, was keen to drop back to that back 4. Great for Phoenix to have Tim Payne back into that back line as well. And just a massive moment. And the great scenes as well, wasn't it? I mean, we've seen the footage across the socials of the celebrations, the players running over to the Wellington faithful and celebrating in the rain. What a win for Wellington Phoenix to keep them in the premiership race. And it's now, I believe, they're going to have their highest ever finish, which is awesome for Phoenix. Melbourne Victory, they'll be disappointed with the loss here. They'll be hoping to hold on to either third or fourth place here, which they should do. They're in a pretty decent position right now. Let's have that quick glance at the ladder. You can see Phoenix level on points with Mariners, just behind. As we know, wins is the column we have to be looking at next. 15 wins for the Mariners, 14 for the Knicks. And 8 points behind Melbourne Victory now, just 3 points ahead of Sydney FC and Macarthur, who are in 4th and 5th, respectively. Let's talk about the other Friday night game. And the big story of this one was all about Nestori Irankunda playing his last ever match for Adelaide United. Home match, I should say. Home match. They've still got a couple of away games to go, of course. He scored a fantastic goal. What a hit. This guy just scores spectacular goals for fun, it seems. What a player, what a talent, and what a future he has ahead of him. But Macarthur SC spoiling the Irankunda party with 2 goals. Piol getting his first goal late on there. A really nicely taken strike after Germain teed him up with a really nice chest down. And lovely goal. And then we should talk about the red card a bit earlier than that. Yanni Nicolau, judged to have elbowed Nestori Irankunda. It was one of those funny ones where, he wasn't even looking. He couldn't even see Irankunda. But for me, I agree with the decision. When your elbow's up like that, you always, run the risk. And Nicolau was sent off the pitch. Tommy Smith, though, grabbing the winner late on. What were Adelaide doing at the back, leaving that far post unmarked? The defenders just, I don't know, if you look at the replay, just misread the flight of the ball. And Tommy Smith, man, getting his first goal for Macarthur FC. And a massive one, too, because the Bulls, they'd been struggling in the last couple of weeks. You look at their last 5 here, their form guide. Couple losses, back-to-back losses, meant that, it was looking a little bit shaky in terms of where they were going to sit in the top 6. Huge 3 points. Has them 4 points ahead of Wanderers in 6th. Very important win on the road for Macarthur FC, who did it without the suspended Ulysses De Villa. Central Coast Mariners, once again, getting the win this weekend. Both the men's and women's teams playing their games in Victoria. 2-0 win over Western United. An interesting game, actually. I thought the first half was, by Mariners' high standards, pretty underwhelming, pretty poor. There was quite a bit of sloppiness from both teams, it should be said, and not many chances. And if you look at the stats here, Western, they really struggled, didn't they? Riku Danzaki probably had the best chance of the game in the second half, but didn't manage to register a single shot on target. Mariners looked much better in the second half, so a couple little tweaks from coach Mark Jackson, and it paid dividends at the end. Maxi Ballard with another goal, and then what a strike from Christian Theoharis coming off the bench and scoring a fantastic goal on the backflips to back it up as well. Central Coast Mariners, man, we have seen each week there has been changes to this lineup, but they keep putting in the performances, getting the results. Harry Steele playing at left back in this game did a decent job. Mikael Docker and Angel Torres looking dangerous, of course, in those wide areas as well. And Josh Nisbet having a lot of fun playing in a more advanced role. But Western United, disappointing for them to pick up a loss after, they grabbed a really impressive win last time around against Macarthur FC, and they are well and truly out of finals contention now, aren't they? The green and black. 2-0 win for the Mariners, keeping them top of the table. Straight after that, Brisbane Roar were hosting Newcastle Jets. And a bit of a surprise result. This is a real surprise for me. I think Brisbane, yes, they have been up and down, but at home against a struggling Jets side, you maybe would have picked this one as a winnable game for Brisbane, especially because they know that a win would really keep them in that finals race. So disappointing, dude. And it's been the story of their season. There's been good performances here and there from Brisbane. And you think, okay, and you look at the team they have as we glance at their lineup once again for this game, pretty strong overall. And we have been talking about it a lot, but with good players like O'Shea, Henry Hall, Berenguer in there, Tom Mortingham has had a good season, his first year in the A-League as well. You think it's a side capable of definitely competing for finals. Newcastle Jets, though, back-to-back wins for them and a clean sheet, which was huge for Newcastle. Clayton Taylor scoring a very nice goal. Apostolos Stamatopoulos adding another one to his big goal tally for this season. 2-0 win for the Jets. Very nicely done. Brisbane looking a little bit shaky now to finish off the season. Sydney Derby, 2-1 to the Sky Blues. Thanks to everyone who tuned into the live watch along for this one. It was a lot of fun to do. And the Sky Blues getting the job done, man. And in dramatic fashion. In the 8th minute. 3 minutes after, Zach Sapsford thought he had the equaliser. Absolute scenes, one end to the other. Kaczowski goes and scores the winner. What a match this was. Sydney FC, I mean, you can tell from the stats at least, definitely the stronger team. Overall, Wanderers were solid defensively for much of this game. But Sydney just kept knocking on the door, and they finally barged it over. But it was a really fascinating battle, man. An exciting match. Brandon Borrello going off injured in that first half was a huge blow for Western Sydney Wanderers, and I think that did affect things a little bit for Western Sydney. We know Borrello is a fantastic player, and on his day can tear a game open. But that was certainly a blow for Wanderers. But Dylan Parias, I thought, was Wanderers' best player on this night. He had some fantastic opportunities. Marcus Antonsen hitting the post at one point as well. It easily could have ended a much more higher scoring affair, but 2-1 to the Sky Blues in the end. And the drama didn't end there, because to round off the weekend, Melbourne City 8, Perth Glory 0. It's the biggest win in A-League men's history. What a result for City. Leon Natel with a couple goals. Togar Arslan with a hat-trick. An own goal from Majeka Dumni. McLaren getting an important goal for him. And Ugarkovic joining in on the act as well. Just complete domination and a complete capitulation for Perth Glory, who a team who have been integrating young players in there. Yeah, I mean, no one saw this coming. I mean, they've been okay. They've been good at times throughout the season, Perth Glory, but no one saw this massive result coming. And all I'll say with Perth Glory is that this upcoming off season is hugely important for them. They have to get their recruitment right. Alan Stajic has a massive job in this off season to build a team that can compete, because at this rate they're going to pick up their second wooden spoon in 3 seasons, which is unacceptable for a big team like Perth Glory, man. Melbourne City, who played a very aggressive lineup, Matt Leckie into midfield. Togar Arslan, though, he was fantastic in this game, obviously with a hat-trick as well. 8-0. What a win for Melbourne City. But the important thing is now is that they back it up, and Melbourne City, well, they have a massive trip away to Wanderers, which will be an incredible game next week, because if they win it, they will jump into 6th place. So that's the important thing for City. They have been picking up big results this season, but they got to back it up the week after, which is where they've been struggling a bit this year. An incredible drama all across the ladder. A couple teams jostling for the wooden spoon there. Western and Perth, they play each other coming week as well, don't they? Obviously, we got Mariners and Phoenix level on points as well, and who knows what the top 6 will look like there. Sydney, Macarthur, Wanderers, and Melbourne City now really contesting for those that bottom end of the top 6. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Lockie, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.